I was just asking, Robert, did you recommend that? Smoking pot and going for a walk. Well, there's different treatments, all right, for a lot of different things. Interesting. All right. If you're just joining us, Robert Kish is our guest, and you can contact Robert, by the way, if you have questions along health lines at the number that's going to pop up on the screen here. All right. Your website isn't up yet, so I can't give that out. But by the way, call in, if you're going to call this number, do it tomorrow. I know your wife, who's also a naturopath, Margot, is along with you today, and so won't be able to actually take that call. You'll just get a message today, so you'll have to end up calling tomorrow on that one, but 938-6062. All right, Robert, you're going to come back to more of this here. I still want to talk to you about the detoxification process and your computer analysis. It's quite interesting. Let's go to Lori's call first, though, from Ontario. Hi, Lori.
Hi. The reason I'm calling today is 4 years ago I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and I have been on every kind of medication, and nothing's working.
So you're still...
I've got cocktails of this, and it causes me pain. My memory is messed up because of it. I'm sleeping sometimes, I'm not sleeping other times, and it has not taken the anxiety or the depression away. Yeah,
it's really ruined and impacted your life negatively, hasn't it?
It's absolutely horrible.
Okay. And now, did you have people coming in with depression?
Many people, Paul.
It's common then,
It's very common. The thing that we do usually is we do support the adrenal glands. In all stress, like everything is going to affect the adrenal glands. Then we will supplement with the B complexes.
So you're saying depression typically comes from an adrenal gland not functioning properly?
Exactly, right. And that's determined by the way we do blood pressure. In our office, we will do blood pressure in a laying down position, and then in a standing up position. When you're laying down, whatever that systolic number is, when you stand up, that number should go up by at least 10 points. If it doesn't, we know that the adrenal glands are in trouble. As a matter of fact, anything less than 110 on a systolic blood pressure reading already indicates to us that there's an adrenal gland involvement. So
you would try to fix the adrenal glands, and then now what would that involve? Would it be a lack of nutrients, that sort of thing? Or
most often it'll be a nutritional supplement that we'll give. We'll either different products that we will use for the adrenal gland specifically. And again, going back to absorption. And the way that that's going to happen is making sure that the body chemistry is in total balance, that your pH is in balance, that you will process and utilize these nutrients.
Now, depression can also be affected, though, realistically. Lori, I mean, are there things going on in your life as well that are causing the depression, possibly?
Oh, absolutely. I had an incident take place 4.5 years ago that started everything. And it hit me physically before I realized what was going on. And they diagnosed me with post-traumatic stress disorder. I had a death threat on my life.
So
I mean, unfortunately, that's not the only thing that's happened. I've had a friend get killed, murdered, and, you know, you have your normal deaths and all this other stuff. So,
well, you know, Lori, I would really encourage you to, on a couple of angles, I think it's worth checking out something like this to see if, on a practical level, you can get some help for your adrenal glands, for example. As I think there's always a couple of angles on that, and of course, on an emotional and spiritual level as well. You know, you need some people, I think, to join with you in prayer and to maybe deal with some of those things that have happened in your life, and you'll need somebody who's, you know, a solid believer, Christian, I think, to help you in that. Now, real quick, have you had any positive results with depression, or have people been helped by this?
As soon as they start to absorb their nutrients better, Paul, and you get the pH back in balance, everything is better. They're back to work, and everything's functioning better. Some of the things like bipolar depression, those are some of the things that we look at with the electromagnetic frequency sensitivities. These are some of the things that can also be an issue. Electromagnetic frequencies.
Well, let's talk about that for a moment. Lori, thanks for the call. Electromagnetic frequency, I mean, what is that? EMF, and I think you're talking about, if I'm remembering correctly, everything from like fridge, for example, to radio waves going through the air. Electronics that we use today, which we never used, you know, 100 years ago. They're not natural in one sense. I mean, they're very helpful. You know, it's nice to have a cell phone. You have a cell phone, but you know what? Certain people tend to be a lot more sensitive to them. Is it because we are electrical in our nature? God has designed us to. We have a magnetic frequency as human beings, right?
Everything, Paul, is converted into electrical energy source in our body. Everything is electrical.
Yeah, our heart is electrical.
Exactly. Your heart is what generates the electricity. The cerebellum, the battery of the brain, is what stores that energy. And with that, with electromagnetic frequency sensitivity, we use different things like a total shield or mini harmonizers that will actually balance out that negative energy. As a matter of fact, Dr. Brimhall in his teaching says that that's probably one of the top issues today that is putting more people in trouble than anything else. Now,
not everybody's affected by it, but
not
some
everybody.
people are.
And that's based on where they are physically. When they are physically fit and doing well, they can handle the negative energy from that. Okay, but as soon as the system starts to crash or is not up to par, they will be more sensitive. And there is a lot of people that are sensitive to EMF sensitivity.
Well, I remember last time you were on the program, somebody called up and she says, you know what, I can't sleep when the fridge is plugged in. When I unplug the fridge, I can sleep. Like, that's weird, but for her, that's reality.
Exactly,
so,
that's
okay,
right.
let's go to another call here. Ray from Ontario. Hi, Ray.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. I've got to thank Dr. Robert Kish here today.
Thank you.
The last time he was on the program, he had a caller that was asking about a defibrillating heart.
Yeah.
And they asked if there was anything that they could do for that. Now, I've been told by my doctor that there was nothing that could be done for that, except put you on Coumadin, which, of course, thins your blood, and every time you touch anything, you get a bruise, and you're always black and blue all over. Taking that stuff. But anyway, he said yes, and so I went to a naturopath here, and I was amazed that they put me a holster on for 48 hours. Holster is just monitoring your heart, and there was no defibrillating, and I felt good, and so my doctor got a hold of the specialist, and he said, well, now he doesn't need to have this anymore, does he? And this is what I had asked him, if I had to keep taking this Coumadin. And the specialist said, no, that's fine. And I'm off it, been off it for quite a number of months, feeling great. So I think...
Interesting. Wow. So you're saying the naturopathic treatment actually worked?
Yes, it did.
Wow. That's encouraging.
Well, especially when the doctor, my medical doctor, said that it wouldn't. He didn't. I didn't say about naturopath, but I just said he said there was nothing I could do except take the Coumadin. Anyway, that was really great, and I do have another thing here that I have in the back of my knee. The therapist, there was like a rope in there, and when you bend your leg, it makes a snapping sound and hurts. Especially when going up and down stairs, it really you feel like your leg is giving out on you. And I wondered if if there was anything that
can be done for that. Sure.
Yes, please.
Okay.
One of the things, Ray, that I would probably look at is your absorption of your minerals, especially your calcium, magnesium, and the laxicity of ligaments could be an issue there. Again, how he will absorb the nutrients, even if he does take them. So
you're saying a lot of people take calcium and magnesium, but they don't get absorbed properly. I've heard that from a number of naturopaths who say that's a very common problem. As you probably take that stuff, don't you? Anyway, go ahead.
We have a program for laxicity of ligaments. This program is used widely by chiropractors and for adjustments that will not hold. When we put these people onto this program, all of a sudden, instead of having to go to the chiropractor 3 times a week, they're going once every 2 weeks or once every month. But the laxicity of ligaments and how the person absorbs their minerals is a big issue, I think.
And you said something very interesting, and you might want to try this, Ray, and that is you say people should chew their supplements,
that's right,
which tastes gross.
They're ugly.
But you say that actually helps your body absorb it much better.
I think we were talking earlier too, Paul, about that what happens with a lot of the supplements that people do take in, as it goes through the system, it actually doesn't break down and is passed on through the system and ends up in the toilet. The thing is that some supplementation is harder to break down than others. By chewing the supplements, I chew my food, so I chew my supplements, and there's a process that we call biological biological tagging. The tagging process of any nutrients that are needed by the body in any specific organ will be tagged through the communication between the thymus and the parotid salivary gland. If you need something for the eye, like vitamin A, when you put vitamin A into the system, it's your thymus that releases a specific RNA, tags it through the parotid salivary gland, and sends that vitamin A to the eye for the repair to take place. So chewing the supplements is a big part of everything, and they do taste awful.
They do taste awful. Okay, Ray, try that. Check it out with your naturopath. Or, by the way, if people are go ahead.
Another thing, Ray, too, is one of the things that I would probably look at is the parathyroid function and how the parathyroid is functioning, because your minerals are absorbed through parathyroid and adrenal function. And sometimes the parathyroid could be an issue. So if we take a look at the blood under the microscope, and we would see maybe a possibility of blood, bicycle spokes, what we call bicycle spokes.
Again, this is live blood analysis.
This is live blood analysis.
You've done this on me, and I was amazed at what you found. I mean, my blood was sticking together, and it should be free-floating.
Exactly,
all kinds of stuff that you can learn from analyzing the blood. And
from when a doctor requires a blood test for the parathyroid gland, that is done here at the main lab. It's a special test that has to be done for that.
Okay.
But it does help you determine how well you're utilizing your minerals, and our belief is that your minerals are probably more important than your vitamins.
Minerals are more important than vitamins, you think? Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Ray. I'll put a quick plug in for that as well for people who travel. You've recently moved to a new location in De Winton. It's just outside of Calgary. Beautiful acreage. I was just there recently at your place. And again, if you can just get the number up on the screen there. And again, if you're interested in making an appointment, you need to call tomorrow, because you're here today and your wife's with you here today as well.
First
so
time.
You just get an answering machine today, but there's the number to call tomorrow. The interesting thing is you've actually got the place set up, so you have a kitchen downstairs, a couple of bedrooms as well, for people who are traveling far for treatment, can actually stay there right there at your place, and don't have to worry about the hotel. Which is great.
Yeah, which is nice, and you've got shower, bath, and kitchenette.
Oh, it's a beautiful place. I mean, tell you what, it's out in the country. You'll love it.
No problem with parking facilities.
That's right, no problem parking, no stress. Okay, all right, let's go to Elaine's call from BC. Hi, Elaine.
Hi. Yes, I've been diagnosed with galloping rheumatoid arthritis, and I've been put on methotrexate and sulfasaline, which I think I'm thankful for, because it has kept me out of a wheelchair.
Yeah, okay.
And, but I was just wondering if there's something natural that I could take.
For arthritis, is it quite crippling as well?
Yes, it is.
It is,
yes, it is, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Some of the things that I would use in my office would be proenzyme, lactic acid redux, glucosamine plus, or some of the other supplementations that I would use. There is a program for just about any condition out there. The key, again, is that we have to balance the body chemistry to make sure that what they do put into the system is going to be properly utilized.
So in other words, that sometimes before they can actually get the stuff they need, there's other things that need to come into place first, that their pH is in balance so they can properly absorb what they need.
Exactly.
So it's a process, isn't it? It
is a process. And if we can get that part of the system functioning the way it should be, everything will be utilized a lot better.
Well, you know what? It is something worth trying to check out a naturopath, and glucosamine is typically what's prescribed, although, again...
I have taken a lot of glucosamine, and it hasn't touched it.
It hasn't touched it. Interesting. Okay.
And there is, and that's one of the things that we find also that in our testing, we can actually test the quality of the product to see how well the product is. And if it's a product that we can use, there could be too many fillers in the product, and there is a big difference.
Let me talk about that just for one moment here. I'll tell you what, I've got a very interesting article. It's from the Calgary Herald from February this year. And it says supplements, or it says popular therapies often know better than dummy pills. Okay, now, so there's, you know, I just want to be real with people sometimes. Here's the interesting. Government-funded research says that arthritis pills like glucosamine and chondroitin did no better in this study than, you know, placebos at relieving mild arthritis pain. Okay? And they found the same thing for echinacea and the common cold. They said it doesn't work. However, the results aren't completely clear-cut, it says here. It says, for example, most people taking the arthritis pills in the study, you know, didn't benefit, but those with more severe pain did actually benefit. And it also says here, alternative health products with the same name can have very different ingredients and potencies. This is according to a botanicals researcher from the University of Illinois. She says, actually, I mean, you know, basically certain products are going to be much more potent and much more effective than others. So a certain type of glucosamine that you take may not do the trick. You're saying if you get the proper mix, it makes a big difference.
Pardon me. Yes, it is, and that is critical. That's why when we use our supplements, we can test to see if the supplements are going to be beneficial. We constantly ask people to bring their supplements with them so that we can test to see how do they respond with their own supplement. If they do make them strong and it will be helpful, definitely use it, you know, for